What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? Welcome back to the Super Grapple Bros podcast. This is episode number 72. I think I may have actually labeled it 71 again on Twitch, but it's episode 72 of the Super Grapple Bros on podcast. We are two brothers, former WWE employees. What is it that we like?
Wrestling and video games.
Video games?
Yes.
Close enough. I like to call it the Vidgy games, but yes, two brothers, former WWE employees, wrestling, that whole thing where people throw each other around in a squared circle, and the Vidgy games, that thing that you hold a controller for or use mice and keyboard. We don't judge, PC Master Race stuff, but consoles are important too. We are back. I am all over the place. How are you doing?
I'm tired. How are you?
I'm good. I am El Murpho, by the way, and this is once again
DMurph.
Oh my God, you're here twice in a month.
Yeah, well, you're starting to, space out the dates in my contract, so.
Yeah, right. You're also up. There you go. You're also kind of on the edge of this shot, actually. There you go.
Yeah.
Now you're a little bit in frame. That was weird. We were lining that up, and you weren't like almost out of frame last time in the video version. But anyway, we are rambling. This is the TLC 2018 prediction show. We're going to be, of course, doing predictions about WWE TLC. We're going to be talking about the results of RoH Final Battle that happened last night in New York City at the Hammerstein Ballroom. It's actually 10 years to the day that we went to our first Final Battle. And now I think like 90% of the guys who were on that show are now in WWE.
Well, a lot of them at least, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of them is currently the WWE champion, and another one is currently the Intercontinental champion.
Yep. And they were main eventing, and then like two other guys are on the shelf. Another guy is actually the SmackDown Tag Team champions. One of the SmackDown Tag Team champions too. Cesaro.
He was on that show?
Yeah, he tagged with that was when he was tagging with Chris Hero as the world's greatest tag team.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep. Way back in the day of 2008. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the results of the 2018 edition of RoH Final Battle. We're also going to talk about the announcement of the WrestleKingdom 13 card for New Japan Pro Wrestling. There are a couple people that you're a little upset about aren't on the show. I'm a little sad-faced about too, but it seems like it's going to be a solid, good show.
Oh, it's going to be a good show, but it's going to be missing a little bit of villainy there.
Yes, and then on the video game side of things, we are going to be discussing this interesting, weird story involving Kanye West and Hideo Kojima, as well as an update to the Riot Games sexism, sexual discrimination controversy that's going on. Plus, Overwatch League has revealed the start of the 2019 season, when that's going to get started. Its opening weekend schedule is out. I think the schedule for the whole season is out, and they gave updated information for the prize pool and announced that certain teams are going to start having home games.
Yes, and they've also added more teams since the last time I checked.
Yes, a total 8 teams.
It's cray-cray.
They have doubled the size of the Overwatch League.
Yep.
So we got a lot of stuff to go over to get
I'm
through.
still available, by the way, guys.
Still available? What? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're trying to make it. Yeah, that'll totally happen. All right, so
I'm a good team player.
Yeah. All right, so champ.
Should I grab my belt then?
I mean, if you want to. I mean, technically, it's up for grabs for anybody to have.
But it's
hashtag paper champion. Hashtag never here. Hashtag
longest
the
reigning.
real guys here who gets all the work done. You're actually coming close on a year with that thing, and it's really upsetting me. Even though the last 3 months should not count, because you did not do any predictions over the last 3 months.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a good amount of that I was in Brooklyn most of the time.
Still weren't able to do predictions. Couldn't even mail them in. Couldn't even text them to me.
You didn't ask me.
You could have, though.
I didn't even know.
I could have sworn I brought it up to you once or twice.
Yeah, you brought it up to me once, and I sent you the predictions for that. And then, other than that, I didn't know there were pay-per-views going on because I was in Brooklyn.
Asterisks all over this championship reign. Right, well, anyway, for those of you who don't know, who are listening for the first time, are like, what the hell are these guys on about right now? We like to do predictions for every single WWE pay-per-view. We compare it. Whoever wins is the champion. Once the champion is crowned, we have champion's advantage, whereas the champion gets to pick second Or is
Pick
it
first.
it's first? Yeah,
'Cause
champions get to pick first. No, it's second.
No, it's
Is it?
champions pick first because the champion's advantage is tie goes to the champion. So if I were to pick second, I could just pick literally everything you pick and win.
Yes. Well, okay, yeah, that was what I was getting at. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And ring telephone, of course. Almost every time we do a podcast, you know, it's funny. Most of the solo episodes that I did, the phone did not ring. And why hasn't anybody picked up the phone? That's our aunt and uncle calling. Our family is downstairs. They should be picking up the phone, and that rang a full 4 times.
Do you think it could be our cousin looking to do a call into the show?
I doubt it.
Okay.
But like, without fail, whenever you're here, like that phone rings.
I mean, I bring the attention. People come and watch for me.
Whatever you say. Anyway, the champion's advantage rule is champion picks first.
And champion
So
wins on a tie.
Yeah, champion's advantage, champion wins on the tie, and also he picks first. That way you can't pick everything I pick and just retain on the tie.
I mean, if you want me to pick second, I'll do exactly that, and we could just have fun.
No.
Okay.
So basically, whoever gets the most picks gets to keep or take the championship. And those of you watching or listening, you can join in on us as well. We have a Discord server, which you can find in the show notes in the audio version. You can find it on the Twitch channel page, and you can find it in the video description on YouTube. We've got, you just click on that link there. It's an invite to the Discord server. Join it, and we have a Super God Bros viewer predictions channel there where we will post the match card. You have until the first bell rings of the first match of the event to get your predictions in. If you tie or defeat either or both of us, you will get a shout out on the review show, which won't be for 3 weeks from now because we're taking a holiday break after this episode. But you'll get that shout out. You will also get a shout out if you are the winningest viewer. If you get the most predictions out of all the viewers who do predictions of the channel, you also get a shout out. So if you want shout out action, hit up Discord and get in on those predictions. So with all that said, let's get into the show. Let's get into TLC 2018 and the predictions.
First prediction. Who do you think on the show is going to show the most tenderness, the most loving, and the most care?
I think that despite his rough demeanor, that Dean Ambrose is very tender on the inside. That pain comes from a very real place.
I
think Dean Ambrose.
I'm not gonna let
tender.
you even finish because I win because I picked Bailey.
No, because Bailey's the most loving. That's where you were wrong.
But she's very tender with her hugs, and she's very caring because she gives out a bunch of hugs.
Well, no, you can't just pick one person for all three. You have to pick one person for each thing. You're cheating the system.
I said for all three.
Yeah, you can't.
That's what TLC stands for.
No, I thought we were talking about who is the most tender, who is the most loving, and who is the most caring.
Well, I meant it as all one person.
All one person?
Okay, well, the most... Okay, let's just move on, because I was going to start going on, but yeah.
Well, actually, if we're talking all three, there's really only one answer. And by saying Bailey, you're wrong anyway, because it's the man. It's Becky Lynch. It's always Becky Lynch. You know I'm right.
No, it's... I mean, God rest his soul. It's got to be Big Daddy V, right?
Oh, God. All right, let's actually start doing the predictions.
Yep.
The first match we've got on the card is actually the finals of the Mixed Match Challenge. Swerve alert! You thought that the Mixed Match Challenge was actually just going to be an all YouTube or Facebook thing, and might actually feature people who would be on the main card. No, they decided we're going to take people who wouldn't otherwise be involved in the TLC and put them in the finals. Mm-hmm. So we've got Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal versus Carmella and R-Truth. What do you got?
Does it really matter?
For the sake of our predictions, it does. For our total prediction count, yes.
I'm going to go with Carmella and R-Truth.
I'm doing the same thing. They've actually got a rapport together, and they've got a storyline going forward. I don't think there's going to be anything going on with Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal after this.
Not to mention people have been going crazy for Carmella and R-Truth with their dance breaks. Mostly Carmella with the dance breaks, but...
It's pretty over. It's pretty fun. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Then... I don't think we have to talk anymore about that match.
Nah,
let's move on.
Let's
Next match, WWE Cruiserweight Championship rematch. Buddy Murphy defending against Cedric
champion
Alexander. Yes, who lost the title to Buddy Murphy at Super Showdown in Australia.
In Melbourne, Buddy's hometown.
Yes.
I'm going with Buddy Murphy here. I don't think he's losing the title yet. I think especially with Triple H around, he's going to hold the title for at least a little longer. And I think if he's going to lose it to anyone, I think it's probably going to be someone like a Mustafa Ali.
I agree to you. I think Buddy Murphy's going to defend, successfully retain, and I totally see Mustafa Ali being the next person to challenge Buddy Murphy and be the next Cruiserweight champion after Buddy Murphy. Cedric is really good in the ring. This is going to be a great match, but Cedric's already had his reign with the Cruiserweight Championship. It's time to let Buddy Murphy shine, get himself a decent reign, and I think it's better to have Buddy Murphy as a heel going up against Mustafa Ali if you want to put the belt on Mustafa Ali as opposed to Cedric. Unless they want to move Mustafa Ali up to the main roster and keep him on SmackDown more often.
You never know.
Fine with that, but
I don't think Mustafa's going to be the next challenger for Buddy Murphy, seeing as how he was the last challenger. But I think he's probably going to eventually take the title off of him.
I hope so. At least. All right, match after that, we've got Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match.
I don't know, honestly. I haven't been following this stuff too much. I'm going to go with Randy Orton.
Well, goddamn you. Why?
Because RKO out of nowhere, especially with a guy who jumps off a lot of ropes.
Yeah, I'm going with Randy Orton too, simply because of the fact that I believe this is part of the stepping stone for Randy. I don't think this is going to be a long rivalry, and Randy won every single match he was involved with Jeff Hardy. And their rivalry, and it seems like they're building this. I've heard rumor that they're building this as a means to eventually lead to Randy Orton AJ Styles feud going into WrestleMania that'll extend into WrestleMania.
I hope not, but at the same time, it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah, so I'm going with Randy too, and we haven't had a different pick yet. Hopefully that'll change.
Yeah.
Elias versus Bobby Lashley is the next matchup. It is a ladder match. The first person to reach the guitar on the top of the ladder will be able to use it during the match. So it's an interesting kind of ladder match. Mm-hmm. You don't just get the guitar and you win. It just means you can use the guitar.
Yep. And the winner is going to be Bobby Lashley.
Why you got to keep doing this to me?
Why you got to be coming after me for my picks?
All right, why?
Because of the fact that they've been pushing Bobby Lashley a lot more, especially since he has turned heel. And he's also got Lio Rush in his corner who can help him out and probably be the one to eat the chair shot before Bobby Lashley gets the win.
You know what? I'm going to go with Elias.
Okay.
Because I think they're also really trying to push Elias as a face. And I don't think they will have everyone from that faction win tonight on TLC. And also the whole whoever looks strong and the go home show tends to lose kind of theory. I don't know how true that theory is, but Bobby Lashley got the one up with Lio Rush and Heath Slater on Raw this week, so I think Elias is going to come out on top.
Okay.
So I'll go with Elias.
All right.
But it's a toss up to me, in my opinion. Then we got Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre.
This is a tough one. But once again, they've been pushing Drew, and they've been focusing on things like possibly Drew versus Braun Strowman and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be Drew McIntyre that wins, and I'm hoping that they end up putting Finn Balor in like the IC title picture or something like that after that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Drew McIntyre.
All right, I'm doing the same thing because they're pushing Drew to the moon right now, and I think they're going to have a Universal Championship rivalry soon. Pretty much once Lesnar has the title taken off of him, regardless of whether that's at Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre is going to be challenging for it almost immediately. And good on them for having Finn in a prominent rivalry again, but I think this is just serving to get Drew up there. And let me just acknowledge and say thank you to the 30-bit cheer to Big Stupid, who, which is a hashtag charity. So it was part of a charity bit. There are 12 more days to show support. By the way, if you cheer and include hashtag charity, you will raise money for direct relief. There is currently $114,787 raised by Twitch for direct relief. So if you guys do cheer in the future, make sure you use hashtag charity. So thank you, Big Stupid, for doing that. Anyway, his message is, ladies and gentlemen, His name is Big Stupid, and he is the advocate for the reigning, defending predictions champion, DMurph.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I would say you have to add in heavyweight like Paul Heyman normally does, but I am definitely not.
Well,
a
I know he
heavyweight.
was doing the Paul Heyman thing,
No,
but
no,
because
no,
I'm not the champion, I'm deliberately not reading it like Paul Heyman.
I'm just saying I'm pointing out for him that that's what he normally does, but I'm definitely not a heavyweight, so it's cool.
No. Thank you for the cheer again, by the way, Big Stupid. Anyway, next match we got Natty versus Ruby Riott in a tables match.
I don't know. I haven't been watching much.
Well, basically, to catch you up to speed on what's recently happened, is that Natty cut a promo about how, like, basically Ruby's been teasing Natty. She's been teasing Natty relentlessly and beating her up for months, but most recently she's been using the death of her father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, to basically play psychological warfare with her.
Okay, so Natty's winning.
Yeah, and on Raw, Natty cut an impassioned promo about how she's dedicating the match to her father, and then Ruby came out with a table that had, like, one of those life-size wall decals of Jim the Anvil Neidhart on the table, and saying that she was going to put Natty through that specific table, so that way she could be closer to her father than ever before.
So Natty's winning.
Yeah, Natty's winning.
Okay.
You don't let Natty lose this match.
No, you do not.
You do not let Natty win this match. It's gonna be a good match because Ruby's good. Natty's still got some skills.
Mm-hmm.
But Natty's, there's no way the backlash they would get for having Ruby Riott be over Natty.
Yeah.
It would not be good. And yes, we did hear. I think because it was a few weeks ago that Jim the Anvil Neidhart passed away. I did dedicate an episode to him, I believe. Oh, that's the joke from Big Stupid. He was like, "Hey, did you guys hear that Natty's dad passed away?" Because she's never mentioned it before. Yeah. Okay. So moving on. After that, we've got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match of Sheamus. I almost said Cesaro. Sheamus. Cesaro and Sheamus are defending against the New Day and the Usos in a triple threat match. This might be the hardest one to call.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? I'm going with Cesaro and Sheamus return. Wow, what is that word? Retaining.
God, I hate you.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because I think that with this whole thing going on with Vince McMahon coming to Raw on Monday to shake things up, that there's going to be a superstar shakeup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at least the Usos, if not the Usos and the New Day, might be sent over to Raw to help with their stagnant tag team division.
Maybe. I don't know if the Vince McMahon shakeup that's coming up on Raw is going to specifically mean that, like, it's a superstar shakeup. Could mean that, but I don't know.
It's got the potential, and I have a feeling that they're going to do that at some point.
And I also have the bar, but with my reasoning more so is that New Day and Uso.
Ice Shamey.
No, I did not love Ice Shamey. I mean, it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but as far as an actual rap song, my ears bled.
Yep.
No, for me, it's more that Cesaro and Sheamus as the bar haven't really had too long of a. I feel like their tag championship reign hasn't been too long. When did they beat the Bludgeon Brothers for it?
They didn't beat
the
Bludgeon Brothers.
Who was it who they beat? Who beat the Bludgeon Brothers? Who took the titles from them?
I thought it was the New Day or something.
No,
I don't remember, honestly.
Was it the Usos who took it from the Bludgeon Brothers?
No.
Or the New Day? Maybe it was the Bar who took it from the New Day. But I just know they haven't had it for too long, and I feel like the New Day's had enough tag reigns. The Usos, I think...
both of those teams have had it at least 5 times now.
Yeah.
I mean, Cesaro and Sheamus are now like 7-time tag champions, but...
New Day won it after Survivor Series and...
SummerSlam.
After SummerSlam, yeah.
Because at Survivor Series, they faced Authors of Pain.
Yeah. Yeah, like... I don't know. I want to say the Usos, too, but... My first initial reaction is Cesaro and Sheamus because I haven't had it for that long.
Yeah.
you know what, screw it. To be a contrarian and be different and to spice things up. And I know that this is going to be one of the things where when we come back in 2019, I'm going to be shaking my head for going against you. But let's do it. I'll go with the Usos. Because you know what? The Usos, they have been like... The New Day's been great this year. The New Day is always great. But I feel like the Usos have actually been better than the New Day in the last year.
The Usos have been amazing.
They've been on an amazing level, and they were the captains of the SmackDown Survivor Series team, and they're the ones who won the Survivor Series matchup. So you know what? I could actually see them winning the tag championships and carrying it from now until WrestleMania. So, you know, and if you do it in a triple threat match like this, it doesn't make, because the Bar is also a great tag team and the New Day is also a great tag team. If you do it like this, it makes neither of the losers look bad, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if, say, like one of the members of the New Day gets pinned and you want Cesaro and Sheamus to stay strong. So you know what? Was gonna go with Cesaro and Sheamus, but since you picked them, and because of the reason I just listed, I'm gonna go with the Usos.
Now, this isn't necessarily how I want it to end, but I'm just gonna look at you and smile when Big Show punches Xavier Woods and either Sheamus or Cesaro pin him to get the win.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Big Stupid said that when I look at you, the sound gets a little low and wonky. That's probably because when I do it, my mouth is a lot further away from the mic, so I just gotta keep the mic closer to my mouth. Big Stupid says, the Bar beat New Day on SmackDown because of Big Show. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But Big Show isn't around with them anymore for some reason. I don't know why. Kind of just disappeared.
Because he's waiting to surprise you at this pay-per-view.
Yeah, he's gonna do another turn. He's gonna turn on Cesaro and Sheamus. Another reason why the Usos will win, because he'll turn and join the Usos.
You're right. He's gonna turn on. He's going to turn on them, but then Mark Henry's going to come out and hit a World's Longest Slam.
Spoiler alert, Big Show comes out. He decks Cesaro and Sheamus. Then he decks the Usos. Then he decks the New Day. And then he just leaves. He turns on everyone. 3 turns in one night in the span of about a minute.
No, I just realized what's actually going to happen, and you're a genius. He's going to knock out everyone, and then the Miz is going to run out and get the pin, and we're going to have Show Miz.
The return of Show Miz.
Yep.
I was going to say he just pins them and then says, I am the tag team champions.
And then Daniel Bryan comes out and says, I am the WWE champions. And they're like, why did you pluralize that? And he was like, because I wanted to.
Shut up. I just heard a thing, and I thought it meant we were doing the Team Hell No thing.
We're not doing the bit.
We're not doing the thing?
Vince, we're not doing the bit?
This isn't Kane.
Oh, okay.
This isn't Kane. Kane, why are you bigger? Why are you bald?
You got fat, Kane.
No. That's mean. That's mean. Don't say that. That's mean. That's mean.
He's just bigger than him.
Yeah, bigger, but not fatter.
He's
bigger
larger in girth, and that's the joke.
All right, I guess.
Moving
next match, SmackDown Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch defends against Charlotte and Asuka in a triple threat TLC match.
Now this is tough.
Yeah, good luck. Swear to God, if you pick the person that I know I'm picking, I'm gonna smack you upside the head.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pick the person that you're thinking.
The goddamn head.
Because this is a person that I have been confident this entire time is gonna win the match, but I've been hearing other people say that someone else is gonna win. I'm gonna go with my gut. The man is retaining. Becky Lynch is gonna win.
Okay, that's actually not who I was gonna pick.
But I've been hearing that Asuka's going to win the match, but I'm sticking with Becky Lynch.
Actually who I'm going with. I think Asuka's going to win. It's going to make both Becky Lynch and Charlotte look good. And I think that then that will give the two of them the opportunity. If one of them, that'll give Becky Lynch the opportunity to win the women. Nope, too late. You already.
Because I just realized something. What? Asuka's going to win, and then Becky and or Charlotte, if they do a superstar shakeup, are going to go to Raw, and then you could do, without having to do a cross-brand thing, them versus Ronda.
Yep.
And then have the title on the line.
Or, this is what I think is going to happen. I think Asuka is going to win the title, and then Becky Lynch is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble and choose to go after the Raw Women's Championship.
That's quite possible.
That's my pick. All right. Do you want to call an audible? Because I've called audibles before, so I feel like it's only fair.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Just because the more I look at it, and I know there's at least one other match, because we've already discussed it before, that we're going to be differing on.
I guess, and that'll make 3 differences. Whatever. Big Stupid says that the man wins and Charlotte will win the Rumble.
It's possible.
I think you've got to do Becky versus Ronda, so I think Becky winning the Rumble, especially with all of these Austin comparisons, and you have her win the Rumble like that, like,
yeah,
I think that's what happens. She wins the Rumble, and she decides to go after Ronda. And then because she has to wait until WrestleMania, but she's now officially on Raw because she challenged the Raw Women's Championship, she's got a month to kill, and somebody else she's got to get payback on in that Raw roster.
Yeah.
So that's what I think is going to happen. All right. Speaking of Raw, the Raw Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax.
Ronda Rousey.
Are you sure? Are you sure Nia isn't going to win this?
I mean, Tamina might interfere, but I feel like Ronda would just like sneeze at her and she would fall and flail everywhere and then still beat Nia.
Yeah, no, Ronda Rousey is going to win this match. Hands down, Ronda Rousey is going to win this match.
Yep.
I don't think there's any question that Ronda Rousey loses this match. Yeah. All right. Now we've got Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin in a TLC match. If Strowman can wrestle, it'll be the match. Otherwise, Baron Corbin will win. Braun Strowman will challenge for Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble. If he defeats Corbin, if Corbin wins, he'll become the permanent general manager of Raw. Corbin will lose all of his GM powers if Strowman wins.
Mm-hmm. And the more we talk about things like Royal Rumble coming up, the more I feel confident in my decision that I think Baron Corbin is going to win, and it's going to be thanks to Lars Sullivan coming out. I feel like Braun Strowman's going to come out. He's going to beat on Corbin for a little while. Corbin's going to get a little bit of an upper hand. They're going to fight for a little while. Then Strowman's going to take control, and he's going to start winning. And then Lars Sullivan's going to come out, and he's going to eventually hit Strowman with a freak accident through a table or something like that and help Baron Corbin get the win. And then Strowman, not being allowed to challenge for the title at Royal Rumble, will then win the Royal Rumble and go on to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the Universal title.
That makes sense. I just don't want to see Brock in the Universal Championship match at WrestleMania again.
I don't either.
But with the Lars Sullivan thing is very good because I do have a feeling that Lars Sullivan's going to come out at some point. I think yeah, because like I feel like Lars Sullivan's definitely coming out at TLC, and this is the perfect spot for him to do so because like where else does he do it? Unless he comes out and destroys Rey Mysterio after his match with Randy Orton or something like that.
Yeah.
Or he'll just come out on a Raw or a SmackDown.
Well,
what you laid out makes sense, but like
part of the reason I'm going to say that I've been thinking this though is because also on Monday Night Raw, I went and on YouTube watched the clip of the little vignette for Lars Sullivan. He said he's going to do something at TLC that we will feel the repercussions of for a long time. And what better than coming out and helping the person who will then be your boss stay boss?
Unless Vince comes out the next day and fires him anyway.
I mean, I still wouldn't argue with that. I still would like that storyline possibly even better.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I don't know what, you see, now you're going to get me to change my mind, and now we're not going to have a bunch of different things.
You don't have to.
No, I think Braun Strowman's going to win because I want to see, I think you get the title off, you take the title off of Brock at the Royal Rumble, you put it on Braun, and then you have Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman for WrestleMania, and then you give Brock something to do that doesn't have anything to do with the Universal Championship, and you get the Universal Championship on TV every week leading into the Royal Rumble, and then, I mean, like, I think maybe Lars Sullivan gets involved somehow, maybe after the fact, maybe after he celebrates. Sullivan maybe there's no like announcement or anything. Maybe he comes from the crowd and attacks Strowman right after the fact, or something, or he'll get involved. But like, this is just more me not wanting to see Brock Lesnar as the champion going into WrestleMania.
Oh, I don't.
And I would like to see the whole Corbin thing get changed up. So as good as your thought process is, and as much as I would like to change my mind, I will stick to my guns, and I will say that Braun Strowman is going to actually wrestle, and he is going to win the match.
All right. And I think Strowman's going to wrestle. I just think Sullivan's going to be the reason he loses.
And I think it's a very good theory. I think you might actually be right. And that's another thing, because Big Stupid just brought it up in the chat. He asked if you buy Rock versus Brock at Mania rumors. Apparently for the belt. I don't think it would be for the belt. You don't have two part-timers wrestle for the belt.
Don't think that's happening anyway.
No.
As much as
I would like to see Rock versus Brock at Mania. It all depends. Rock kind of wants to wrestle, but it's more like the companies that insure him.
Yeah, not to mention
his doctors who are like, no.
But he's also working on a lot of movies and stuff around this time.
Yeah, but Rock can make time to do a couple vignettes and show up at WrestleMania.
I'm saying more of insurance for those movies.
Yeah,
because a lot of them don't let you wrestle when you're doing those movies.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it's gonna be Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Big Stupid says Becky wins the Rumble, eliminating Charlotte. Last challenges Rousey. Then you have Charlotte versus Asuka at Mania for the SmackDown Women's title, which you could do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, second to last match: Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins defending against Dean Ambrose. Who you got?
I got my first suggestion of a title change at this event of Dean Ambrose beating Seth Rollins for the title.
Damn it! You gotta stop it.
No. I can't stop being this good. It's just natural.
Oh, jeez. I was on the fence, and then I was leaning Dean Ambrose, and then you just said Dean Ambrose. Because, like, if you have Seth win, what do you do with Dean next?
You have Dean absolutely destroy Seth Rollins and continue the feud.
You really could. I don't know.
I mean, just saying. That's kind of Dean's whole thing right now. Is what do you do if you have Dean lose? Well, you have Dean fucking burn everything down.
You know what? Seth would. Yeah, I think I'll say that Seth is. I'll differ from you. So we've got wild and craziness going on. Mm-hmm. I think Seth Rollins retains because it's a regular match. If I remember right. Yeah. There's no stipulations listed on the card that we're looking at. Maybe Seth wins via like a roll up or something like that, to where Dean isn't down, laid out on the ground, and Dean just immediately like goes nuts, and that allows the rivalry. That allows Dean to be angrier and maybe hopefully amplify the feud at Royal Rumble to have a stipulation. Which you could do the same thing by having Rollins enact his rematch clause. But exactly. I think if Dean, being the unhinged psychopath he is, like doing something really nasty to Seth after he loses, would be a good thing. So I'll go with Seth retaining.
Just one other fair point though.
Keep the title on the man.
With how Dean is, they're gonna keep the title on Becky.
There's two men at the current moment.
There's also two Kingslayers, but we'll get into that another time.
Well, the one Kingslayer is hurt now, unfortunately.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
She hurt her. I don't know if it's official. There hasn't been an update, which I actually forgot to bring this up as a news story. But yeah, apparently Dakota Kai got hurt at an NXT house show. And it was her knee. I don't think it was confirmed yet, but I think it was believed to be her ACL or MCL, very similar to her friend Tegan Knox's injury, except it was only one of the ligaments as opposed to Tegan Knox, where pretty much her whole knee exploded.
Yeah. But the point I was going to make is, the thing is with Dean, with his personality and everything now, I mean, he could still do that after he wins the match.
I'm pointing in the video version to the chat,
because I love this. Dean formed his own type faction with Lars Sullivan interfering, giving Dean the win.
I love that idea with Big Stupid. Big Stupid pitched.
Here's the two things I'm going to say about this. First off, chances are if Lars Sullivan interferes in the way that Lars Sullivan would be known to interfere, that would cause Dean to win or Dean to lose by disqualification. Secondly, you guys are basically saying you want grunge version or like dirty version of of Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
I don't care.
All right.
Or Lars Sullivan can just beat them out. Nice Murpho pointing on a podcast. That's why I was saying in the audio version that I like it. And I was saying that I was pointing to the chat. I brought it up. Yeah, I really like that idea. And it could be an after the match thing, or maybe Seth wins and then Lars Sullivan just shows up and demolishes Dean.
True. I still think he's going to come out for Corbin, but
he could. He could also come out for Corbin, and it could be almost like a Big Show debut thing where it backfires.
True.
All right, so you have Dean, I have Seth. WWE Championship match: Daniel Bryan defending against AJ Styles.
I think D. Bry is going to retain.
And why?
Because I don't think you give Daniel Bryan the WWE Championship and then right away lose the WWE Championship, especially since he's had this whole huge change in personality. And I think if anything, you find a way for Daniel Bryan to retain in a kind of nasty way and keep AJ Styles and him feuding a little longer after that.
Yeah. I think, I don't think with this new personality, which I'm loving out of Daniel Bryan, that you take the title right off him. I agree with you. And I think, I'm just double checking because Big Stupid said it's a TLC match. There's no DQ about the Intercontinental Championship match, but it isn't. It's just a regular match for the Intercontinental Championship. Rollins had a TLC match with Baron Corbin on Monday, but the Intercontinental Championship match is not a TLC match.
No, I know
the Braun Strowman,
that whole thing was confusing the way they worded it on Raw.
Yeah, the Braun Strowman Baron Corbin match is a TLC, but not the Intercontinental Championship match. It's at TLC, but it is not a TLC match.
Yep.
I think they have other plans for AJ Styles. And I also think that they're still looking for to do face Miz versus heel Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah, probably.
So I think Daniel Bryan's keeping this championship into WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and
probably.
potentially beyond, and they're gonna have AJ do something else with another high profile marquee type person.
I know.
So I think
it's
Daniel Bryan's
gonna be
retaining.
The matches that everyone wants to see that they didn't get to see it all this year. It's going to be a triple threat match, or probably a 2-on-1 handicap match. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Samoa Joe, because we have not seen that this year, right? It's not like they did those matches like 4 or 5 times in a couple of months.
I don't care. They could do that triple threat match as many times as they want. I wouldn't mind that at all.
Yeah, true.
All right, so that's going to do it for our predictions. Just to go over everything. Mixed Match Challenge Finals. We both have Carmella and R-Truth winning. Cruiserweight Championship match. We both have Buddy Murphy winning. We both have Randy Orton winning his chairs match against Rey Mysterio. You have Bobby Lashley winning against Elias in the ladder match. I have Elias winning. We both have Drew McIntyre beating Finn Balor. We both have Natalya defeating Ruby Riott in the tables match. You have Sheamus and Cesaro defending their SmackDown tag titles against the Usos and the New Day. I have the New Day winning and becoming the new SmackDown tag team champions. By the way, you notice which one match is seemingly missing from this
one that
card?
You said they were going to do, which I did not see anywhere.
Which one?
I thought you were talking about the other one that you mentioned to me earlier they were doing, which is Nakamura and Rusev, which is not on this card.
I think that might be a pre-show match. Okay. That might be a pre-show match. If that is on the card, can we get your take on that?
Probably Nakamura.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Nakamura as well. I think
so it didn't matter in the end.
Yeah.
No,
so if Nakamura and Rusev does happen on the pre-show on the kickoff, then that'll happen. But the Raw Tag Team Championships is also not on this card.
Yeah, and you want to know why? Because as I was saying before, they're really not doing anything good with Raw with their tag team division. I mean, no offense to them, but your tag team champions are guys who got paired up together how long ago?
Why do you need structured, good wrestling tag teams with good storylines when you can just have Drake Maverick peeing everywhere?
And Big Show not being able to deal with it and just laughing and walking away.
Let me just say that again. I'm sorry, I forgot to add something. Why would you do all of that when you can have 205 Live general manager Drake Maverick peeing all over things?
Yeah, with him having all this great piss-based content. I was
gonna say it's almost as if you could call the
it's a real pisser, this one.
I was gonna say you could call the rivalry between Bobby Roode and Chad Gable against the Authors of Pain a real pissing contest.
Mm-hmm.
Jokes on jokes. They're terrible, but we do them anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. SmackDown Women's Championship. You originally had Becky Lynch retaining, but you changed your mind. We both have Asuka winning the championship instead against Becky Lynch and Charlotte in that TLC match. We both have Ronda Rousey successfully retaining her Raw Women's Championship against Nia Jax. You have Braun Strowman losing to Baron Corbin in the TLC match. You have him showing up, but losing anyway thanks to an assist from the debuting Lars Sullivan. I have Lars Sullivan not showing up, or if he shows up after the match, and Braun Strowman winning and giving Baron Corbin his comeuppance, and hopefully maybe finally taking the title off of Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. You have Dean Ambrose defeating Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental Championship. I have Seth Rollins retaining, but Dean Ambrose in a fit of rage demolishing Seth Rollins after the fact. And then we both have Daniel Bryan retaining the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. So I'll write that down somewhere. I will put it on the Discord tonight or tomorrow, which will be Sunday. Again, go to Discord. It is in the show notes on the audio version. It's on the channel page on Twitch. Big Stupid, if you could hit us in the chat with the Discord command, so anybody in the Twitch live chat can click on that link as well. It's also in the video description on YouTube. Click on that, get on the invite, join the Discord server, and then make sure you put in your predictions for WWE TLC 2018. A shout out is on the line if you can beat either of us in the predictions, or if you have the best predictions out of all the viewers. We will shout you out in our first show of 2019. So, and then this is also on the line between the two of us, which I will finally take back. My baby will be mine again.
Okay, so when you're crying because Lars Sullivan destroys Braun Strowman through a table or ladder or something.
We differ on 4 different matches. I could be wrong about that and still beat you by 3.
But you're going to be wrong about that one, and that's going to be the final nail in the coffin for you.
Sure. Hey, I'm not your advocate. Oh, yeah, I am your mod, though. Big Stupid said about helping me out. What? When we do the podcast, is DMurph going to have to be the one who asks you to do everything now?
Hey, Big Stupid, say something stupid.
I teed that up for you, and you almost didn't swing, but luckily it did. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Big, say something stupid. 21 times. All right. Well, so that's it for the TLC. Let's quickly try and go over just some highlights from WWE, and then we'll get into RoH Final Battle and quickly get through Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay, yeah, let's get going because I want to talk about this very quickly.
On Raw, Seth Rollins' promo was a thing. Thoughts?
He is right.
Well, why don't you talk about what the promo was for those who don't know? I was teeing it up for you to explain.
I'll explain the most important part. And the most important part of it was Seth Rollins getting in Baron Corbin's face and being like, why don't you got the Revival and tag team title matches? They're like so good, and you've got them doing Lucha House Rules bullshit. You should have them challenging for the tag titles. And everyone in the world was like, yeah, man, what's up with that? And that's the main thing about it.
Well, the fact is that, like, I mean, what he said was right, but what he said was also scripted. And the question is WWE actually going to change anything? Or is it just them calling themselves out, and just because they acknowledged it means they're not going to do anything about it? Because they've done that in the past, but they've also called it out in the past and changed in the past. I do, maybe they are going to change it because they do have Vince McMahon coming out on Monday to apparently shake things up. And there was news going on this week that apparently WWE has plans for what they will be doing in 2019. They plan on changing how they're going to approach TV in the in 2019, which makes sense because I believe it's 2019. Is it 2019 or 2020? I think it's 2019 where their TV deal with Fox kicks in. Their new TV deals kick in.
I think it's 2019.
So we might see more of an emphasis on TV, and we'll get Raw and SmackDown episodes. Because also, don't remember, the last couple episodes of Raw have sucked, have not been that great.
But this has just been a lead up to TLC.
That was what I was saying last week. Is the 2 or 3 episodes that haven't been great are between Survivor Series and TLC. TLC isn't one of the big 4. You just came off of one of the big 4. I mean, you would think make the shows good to build off momentum, but it's not like you're going into the Royal Rumble or Survivor Series. And when we were going into the Survivor Series, Raw had some of the best shows. Like just about a month ago, we were talking about how good Raw's been. So I think it's just the ebb and flow of writing. And I mean, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. In this case, they're losing some. The ratings are sulking as a result, but I think, people shouldn't overreact too much about, oh my God, I can't believe Seth said this, just because, it was scripted. It was given the blessing by Big Daddy V, Mac.
God.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
That was a callback to earlier on in the show.
Yeah.
And
it's even better when you point that out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Totally kills the joke. That's why I do it.
What a pisser. Like that one I did earlier, right? Huh?
Yep.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Let's
You
keep
could
going.
say the way that we're shouting at each other right now is a real pissing contest. Hey, look, it's a third one. Third time's a charm.
Dear God. What did I do to deserve this? I'm stuck here with this guy acting like this.
You were
The
born.
Revival aren't in tag title matches.
We're brothers. What you did wrong was you were born.
God.
If you weren't born, you wouldn't be related to me. Or if you were
Ugh.
born under a different family. Maybe me being born was the problem.
Yeah. Okay. you heard it here, folks. Here first, folks.
All right, we're getting way off track.
Yeah. But
Anyway, what I was saying is with Vinnie Mac coming back and their new plans for 2019, I don't think this is going to stick around for too long. And I think, the show's kind of sucked. But let's wait and see if WWE will prove it, and I think they will prove it. So I think, it's WWE kind of acknowledging, and now it's like, okay, you've acknowledged it. Now let's see if you can change it. So I feel like we shouldn't go freaking out about Seth kind of breaking the fourth wall in this promo, and yet we also shouldn't trash WWE. We should see what the next couple weeks bring. Then we'll be able to be like, okay, they fixed it, or no, that promo meant nothing.
I honestly could see, as has been pointed out, this part of a story purposefully with Vince McMahon showing up on Raw, being like, hey, things haven't been great, so it's time to shake things up and see what happens. Well,
this is another thing also, which is why I picked Braun to beat Corbin. And I mean, even if Corbin wins, this could still be done, but in the case where Braun wins, Corbin would just be a regular wrestler, not a GM, is that Seth in this promo, he called out Baron Corbin and blamed him for all of this.
Yeah.
So Vince can come out and blame Baron Corbin and fire him.
Yeah.
Or maybe instead of firing him because he's a regular superstar again, say, I'm shipping you over to SmackDown.
Or he could just be like the most ridiculous option of something like, you can't do this on your own. I'm bringing back Kurt Angle, and you're going to be co-general managers, and Kurt Angle's going to be senior general manager, or something stupid like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I just want to point out that because of this, we've seen such great tweets from Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson. I think mainly Scott Dawson. Did you know that he tweeted out things like, here's one, I've always liked Seth Rollins. He's a good guy. I've been a huge fan of that guy, Tyler Black. He's really good. Colby Lopez, he's a hell of a guy.
Just keep mentioning names.
Yep.
Big Stupid is asking, do you think Vince will be cheered or booed on Raw? He's normally cheered when he comes out. What's the city? Do we know the city that Raw is taking place
exactly
in?
what
I think
I
it
was
all
gonna
depends
ask.
on the city.
Yep, it depends.
If it's
on
a
the city.
smart city, there's a good chance he might actually get booed.
Yeah.
If it's a Chicago or a New York or a Boston or maybe even a Detroit,
I think he's going to be booed.
where is it going to be?
I don't know where it's going to be, but I think he's going to be booed because it's been announced that he's going to be showing up. Before, whenever he's cheered, it's usually when he just, shows up. I think he's probably going to be booed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he may actually get booed for once. I'm actually going to look this up right now. Raw, it's December 17th, 2018. Where's the location?
Golden One
Center. I have no idea where that is. Let's click on
Sacramento?
it.
Yep, Sacramento.
Sacramento, California. So he might get cheered.
He might.
But
by the way, Big Stupid, first and only ever 2-time NXT Tag Team Champions. Just pointing that out there.
yeah, but what have they done on Raw? What have they done on the main roster?
They've beaten pretty much every tag team.
No titles.
They took out
KB8200. Hello to you, by the way. Welcome into the chat. All right. Speaking of tag titles, because let's try and keep them rolling.
Yep.
We have new Raw Tag Team Champions.
Gloriously Gable.
Yeah. Is that what their team name is actually called?
That's what I'm calling
What's
it.
called? Gloriously Gable. Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode played possum on Drake Maverick in a 3-on-2 handicap match for the Raw Tag Team titles. Got the pin, got the win.
Yep.
Kind of glad that it's off AOP.
All right, moving on. As in with AOP.
I like Gable. I like Bobby Roode. I don't know if I like them as a team, and I do like AOP, but I feel like their run of late with the titles hasn't been the best.
Yeah.
I feel like the writing for them as a tag team, especially Drake Maverick, has been awful the last few weeks. So hopefully this change will maybe move things and move the characters in a different direction to where the writing can be better. We can get away from all the pissing of Drake Maverick and whatnot.
Now we have a face tag team for the Revival to take the titles off of. We're just stating facts.
Honestly, it probably will happen because as much as I like to give you crap on the Revival, just because it's fun to tease you about them, the Revival were the last surviving members of Team Raw.
Exactly.
So
they've been holding it down.
Mm-hmm. And then one more thing. Do you want to talk about the promo from Nia Jax?
No. No.
Nia Jax had a promo. Wasn't that great.
Moving
Not
on.
that good at all.
So
she tried to be
in SmackDown.
She tried to come across as intimidating or angry or unhinged, but like didn't really range in her emotions that well. She almost talked like normal, like Ronda, I'm going to beat you. I deserve this championship. I'm going to punch you with this hand that broke Becky Lynch's face. Which, I mean, that's also kind of starting to get old, the whole face breaker thing.
Yep.
Almost because it's like they're trying to shove it down your throat. And then she screamed almost out of nowhere.
You know why that is, right?
And then it was, well, hold on. Why? What is?
Why she screamed out of nowhere?
Why?
Because she had flashbacks to that one time she faced Ronda Rousey, and when Ronda was about to put her in the arm breaker, and she screamed like a little girl baby, like she was gonna die or something.
But yeah, it's just she went from a very calm kind of thing and then went to screaming. She went, like I was telling you before the podcast, she went from a 1 to an 11 right back down to a 1, and it's like, and these kinds of promos, I feel like, you have to build. Like, if you're aggravated or frustrated and you want to get to the point of yelling, I feel like it has to be a slow build. Like, you almost have to feel the anger building as the promo goes on. As the person keeps talking, you start getting a little bit louder. Your voice gets a little deeper. You start sounding a little more intense. And then finally, when it's all over, you explode into a shout. You build yourself up.
Yeah. But like I said, she was just having a flashback to that time she was acting like my 3-year-old son lying on the floor screaming no repeatedly.
Oh, God.
That's the truth.
But, yeah, anyway, like, not the best promo. And it's like, people say Nia Jax is dangerous. But, like, I like Nia Jax. I like what she does in the ring. Accidents happen. I don't know if I'm going to go out saying she's unsafe.
Yeah, I mean, she's not like Brie Bella.
One of her biggest weaknesses, and it was the same in NXT, is just her ability to deliver a emotional, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like an emotional kind of promo that can really like capture people's sentiment or get them lost into the promo, like get them lost into the show. Like a lot of what she says is paint by numbers. Yeah, and I can't really like feel or be convinced by the emotion or the sentiment of the words she's trying to say. I think that's part of it. I don't want to talk about the Jax promo. I talked about it for 10 minutes. I just wanted to bring it up really briefly. Anyway, KB8200 asks, what do we think Mr. McMahon will have to say on Raw? We talked about this already, but as I move on to the next story, do you want to reiterate?
I think he's going to do some kind of a shakeup, possibly with the whole management thing and possibly with superstars as well. One thing that would be really great, well, actually, no, not really. I was going to say, one thing that'd be really great is if he was like, no more 205 Live. All those guys are going to be on the main roster. And then I was like, no, but wait, there's no more 205 Live then. And I instantly regretted that thought and buried it deep down inside.
Yeah, because Buddy Murphy wouldn't have a championship anymore, and you would be a sad
who said
panda.
That they would get rid of the Cruiserweight title? They just get rid of the show.
No 205, no show, no title. SmackDown Live, Mustafa Ali and Daniel Bryan is a thing that actually happened.
and it was glorious.
It looked great from what I saw. I was only able to catch the YouTube clips because unfortunately I worked late Tuesday night and forgot to DVR it.
It was good.
It looked good. The promo they had before the match was also really good. That I watched too. It was so good. They harkened back to when Mustafa Ali offered to like carry Daniel Bryan's bags and like ROH and stuff like that, and it was great.
Yep. And I like a post that
Mustafa Ali for the main roster, please.
Yeah, he's so good. And I like a tweet and / Facebook post that he did later on being like, an alternate for the Cruiserweight Classic just faced the WWE champion on SmackDown tonight. And being like,
awesome.
Dreams do come true.
And like, we were just talking, and not to bring this back up again because Big Stupid just mentioned it, we were just talking about the Nia Jax promo, about how it's so hard when she cuts a promo. It's one of her weaknesses to be able to feel that emotion and that passion, that desire. I was believing everything Mustafa Ali said. I was believing everything Daniel Bryan was saying in that promo.
Yep. But it was good.
I could feel the like their emotions. I could almost relate to how they were feeling. I could feel the sadness and almost the mourning for the old Daniel Bryan that Mustafa Ali had. I could feel the frustration he had about the new Daniel Bryan. I could feel the pure anger and bitterness of the new Daniel Bryan. That's one of the biggest things about a promo, is being able to convince people of the emotions that your character should be feeling, and get those people to feel those same emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. So next step, Raw set up having TJP challenge whoever is the Intercontinental Champion come Monday for the IC title after that lengthy campaign he had done.
Tomorrow, Monday, Vince McMahon announces, I'm gonna shake things up. TJP versus Brock Lesnar.
I would watch it. Not gonna lie. Vince McMahon comes out on Raw and he says, tonight we're getting TJP versus Brock Lesnar 1-on-1. I'd go, you know what? I actually like this. I like what you're thinking. I want to see you just throw TJP all around so he can show off.
Mm-hmm. The Alpha Kill Daniel Bryan, by the way, Big Stupid says, I love that nickname.
I can see it now. Every week for the next year, it'll be main event Brock Lesnar versus whoever they decide to send over from 205 Live.
You know what I'm imagining now that I'm mentioning Brock Lesnar fighting cruiserweights? I'm imagining that statue of the man where, like, there's all those babies on him.
Yep.
Except the man is Brock Lesnar and all the babies are cruiserweights. And he's like, get these damn things off of me.
Get this TJP and this Lucha House whatever off of me. I've got a big red leather thing to carry.
They are too tiny for Bork to suplex. Bork mad.
Bork laser suplex. Uh-oh. Out of atmosphere. Bork get arrested for murder.
Right.
No,
the other
Bork,
thing,
it's okay.
The other thing that happened on SmackDown, you're the one who has the time constraint. You're the one who goes on the most tangents out of either of us in the show.
Hey, comedy is a spirit that lives within me. Just gotta go with the flow.
Oh God, and I don't learn any better because I come from the school of improv, where I just say yes and. KB8200, a man searching for going after DMurph's heart, saying that the revival must be portrayed better than this.
I agree.
Yeah, we agree. They were portrayed well at Survivor Series. We think that they are probably going to be in for a push soon. That sounds like a kayfabe article waiting to be written. The Brock Lesnar thing.
We're producing new World War Lesnar.
Oh God. Anyway, the other thing that happened on SmackDown was Asuka Charlotte had a match. Charlotte got frustrated, whipped out a kendo stick, started beating Asuka with it. Decided to swing at the man with it. Man didn't like that. Man took kendo stick to Charlotte. Man didn't pay attention to Asuka. Asuka took down the man. Asuka beat up Man and Charlotte with kendo stick. End show. Pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. Moving on to NXT. 205 Live, actually. Let's just you want to quickly talk about 205 Live real quick?
Okay. So the quick thing we'll say is Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy both have gained momentum going into their match.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
NXT, EC3 came back. Finally had his match with Bobby Fish. Mm-hmm. He won it.
Yep. And you know what my favorite part was?
What's that?
When Bobby Fish hit a dragon screw on EC3, and then he immediately grabbed the opposite leg.
Yeah?
Yeah, and it was
Did he?
super obvious.
I didn't notice that. I mean, it might have been super obvious. I was also working while NXT was on, so I might have my head down during that part.
As soon as I saw the clip, I was like, "That's the wrong knee, bro."
Well, did Bobby Fish work the left?
Because
technically, it's Bobby Fish's fault.
He worked the left, and EC3 grabbed his right leg, which has a tape on it. So he grabbed the leg that has no weight on it.
But is the right knee the injured one from the storyline?
I guess
because then technically, if it is, then that's technically Bobby Fish was right for working the left when he should have been working the right though, because it's the injured one.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Undisputed Era beat up on EC3 after the fact. I did like the promo beforehand though, where Adam Cole declared that every member of EC3 in 2019, or not EC3, Undisputed Era, in 2019 will have championship gold over their shoulders. I can totally see it happening. I feel like in 2019, like 2019 NXT will, or for NXT, 2019 will be the year of Undisputed Era.
Now, I just thought of something. Very quick thing to talk about. How amazing would it be if, you know that picture I showed you before? If we had something similar where we have Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly as the tag team champions.
I actually want Roddy to have the North American Championship, but...
Well, you have Bobby Fish with the North American Championship, and then you have Adam Cole with, I don't know, like the U.S. Championship or something like that.
I'd rather see him at the NXT Championship.
But I'm just saying, how cool would that be to be like, you know, there weren't enough belts on this show for us, so I went upstairs and grabbed a belt from up there.
I don't think they would allow that.
I don't think so either, but I think that'd be pretty damn cool.
Anyway, we got a couple of promos also to build up Gargano and Black for the steel cage match. Orny Lorcan and Danny Burch beat the Mighty, and Nick Miller actually has been released.
Yep, unfortunately.
But apparently Nick Miller asked for the release.
Yeah, he had a kid, so it's understandable.
Yeah, he had a kid, and I guess when he saw his kid for the first time, he realized that he didn't really want to be on the other side of the world away from him, because they're from Australia. And he asked for his release so he could, I guess, work in the independents in Australia and be close, and maybe go back to Japan because Japan's a lot closer to Australia than the U.S.
And they did tell him that the door is always open. So I'm excited.
So they parted amicably.
I'm waiting for NXT Australia.
I wouldn't be surprised if that eventually happens.
Yeah.
Honestly, NXT UK is only the first step, and a lot of people, this is like just a nugget of this much bigger thing that we're not going to get into today because we've already like gone way longer than we've wanted to, and we've got a lot of other stuff still to talk about. But a lot of people are complaining about NXT UK now because they feel like this is part of WWE's eventual globalization, and some people feel like it's also going to kill the diversity of wrestling in that they're doing NXT UK now, and then they might do NXT Europe, like NXT EU.
Well,
and then NXT, Germany could be based in Germany, but it could just be either NXT Germany or NXT EU.
Yeah.
And it's that way it could be people from France, Switzerland, all that stuff. Then NXT Japan, and then NXT Australia.
I wouldn't complain.
But anyway. Yeah, anyway, the big thing out of NXT, well, I mean, Mia Yim also beat Reina Gonzalez, which was a thing. But the big thing about NXT this week, Ricochet had an open challenge. Can you tell the fine people who answered that challenge?
Yes. The better half, in my opinion, of Breezango. A man who should have held a title by now, in my opinion, the Intercontinental title. Prince Pretty himself, Tyler Breeze.
Yes. When I honestly, I saw something about Breeze coming back to NXT, making a return to NXT, and then I completely forgot about it. So when I was watching, I was doing work, and I'm like, okay, who's going to answer it? And I heard the sound of the paparazzi stuff, and heard the crowd pop, and then I heard Tyler, and my head was like, wait, what? And my jaw just dropped. I was like, yes! Oh, my God.
Good old Tyler Breeze.
I love Tyler. It was a great match. Tyler's been so underutilized on the main roster. And it's good to see him on NXT. I want him to stay on the main roster. I want him to have a good role on the main roster, but it's good to see him on NXT being able to actually ply his trade and show what he can do, remind the people what he can do.
Yep.
So that way he can hopefully get a better positioning on the main roster.
Yeah. I know Xavier Woods has been petitioning to have him sent over to SmackDown so SmackDown can actually use him.
Yeah. And Woods and Breeze are good boys, too. They're really good friends. They were best friends in NXT, I believe, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, I was really happy for Breeze. He also, after the match, teased a potential match with Velveteen Dream. I would love it, by the way, if this is actually just the start of like a mini storyline for Breeze in NXT where he just goes until the next takeover, and now he maybe has a short rivalry with Dream.
That'd be great.
Velveteen Dream that goes into a takeover match. He does the honors for Dream and then goes back up to the main roster.
I'd be down with that.
Which would be awesome.
And then it'd be just in time for Dream to then appear the next night in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. The only complaint I have about this, the match from NXT is the ending. It wasn't
the whole show.
Well, that, and also the end was a little awkward because Ricochet won with a high angle Michinoku driver, which I didn't even know he was using as a finisher.
Yes.
I think he might have debuted it. Did he debut it as a finisher on that match?
I guess.
Because I know he's known for the 630.
Yeah.
So I expected the match to end with a 630, so I was a little like surprised. It seemed like the crowd was surprised too, like they didn't expect that to be the end either.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. But like, if that was the start of establishing a second finisher for Ricochet, so that way he doesn't have to kill his back doing a 630 every single match, then that's fine with me.
Yeah.
It was just a little weird. Then NXT UK had some things. Joe Kofi faced Trent Seven in a really good match. That Joe Kofi actually won. Isla Dawn beat Killer Kelly in a match. Zach Gibson, Liverpool's #1, and James Drake defeated Amir Jordan and Kenny Williams as the tag division is starting to take shape, and they're starting to try and figure out who will win those tag titles. We also had a segment with Eddie Dennis and Dave Mastiff that teased their match. They were both undefeated, which we had on the next episode that happened this week as well. Flash Morgan Webster also beat Fabian Eichner. And then on the second match, on the second show, we had Gallus, which is what the Kofi brothers and Wolfgang are calling themselves now. Which, fun fact, we looked up earlier today. We were like, what is Gallus? It's definitely a Scottish term because they're all from Scotland. Gallus actually means to be brave, daring, or reckless. Basically, it is used as an adjective version of gallows, and it's meant to describe somebody who's acting in a manner in which they are basically going to be put on the gallows.
Yep.
So, very interesting. Little etymology, I think is the phrase.
Yes.
Yeah, for you there. They beat Ashton Smith and Ligero in a tag match. Joseph Connors beat Jack Stars. We had Ginny beating Zaya Brookside. Zaya Brookside, the daughter of Robbie Brookside, who is one of the trainers at the Performance Center, who is also just adorable and a good wrestler. Ginny's also got I like Ginny's heel persona, by the way, also I like to put that out. And Bomber Dave Mastiff beat Eddie Dennis in a pretty damn awesome match with the cannonball in the corner.
Dave Mastiff is very good.
So those were all the happenings on NXT UK. You didn't get to watch it that much, so you don't really have any comments. And we're still kind of early on. Like, NXT UK hasn't yet had any kind of takeover event. We're still trying to determine tag champions.
But they haven't had it yet.
Yeah, well, they have announced it? When is it? When is it?
I don't remember exactly when, but it's NXT TakeOver. I think they're calling it Blackpool or whatever. It's basically the returning to the Royal Albert Hall, where the original United Kingdom Championship tournament was, and they're doing a takeover there.
Do we know when that's happening?
I want to say later this month or next month, something like that. I'll look it up.
Okay. But yeah, it's like, characters are still being established for the main audience, and we don't have any heated, bitter rivalries yet, so I feel like, NXT UK right now is just like how the original NXT was when it first started airing when WWE Network launched. So it's like the people are good, like the wrestlers themselves are talented, the matches are good. We just need time for personalities and storylines to develop to get us fully invested in what's happening.
Yes, I agree.
So, and also, by the way, I'd also like to point out that Zach Gibson is also still one of the best heels in the business because every time he gets in front of a crowd at any NXT UK, he generates nuclear heat.
NXT TakeOver Blackpool is on Saturday, January 12th.
Nice. So about a month from now.
Yep.
Almost exactly a month from now. All right. So that's it for main WWE news, but there's some non-WWE news that we want to talk about. New Japan Pro Wrestling. As you know, we're coming around the holidays, which means that WrestleKingdom, which is New Japan's version of WrestleMania, happens in the Tokyo Dome every year. WrestleKingdom 13 is about to go down. The card got announced this past week. So I'm going to read off the card. Starting from the beginning, from the end of the card to the top, we had a gauntlet. There's going to be a gauntlet on the pre-show to determine the number one contenders for the Never Six-Man title, which is replacing the traditional IWGP New Japan WrestleKingdom gauntlet. Or not gauntlet, Rumble. Mm-hmm. Then we've got Kota Ibushi versus Will Ospreay for the Never Openweight title. Oh, God, is that going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado versus Roppongi 3K versus Bush versus versus Bushi. Sorry, I'm trying to read around the webcam.
And Shingo Tagaki.
Shingo Tagaki for the IWGP Junior Tag titles. Then we got, maybe if I scroll like this so I can actually read over the camera. Then we got Tomohiro Ishii versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the British Heavyweight title. I didn't even know that New Japan debuted a British Heavyweight title.
It's, I believe, the Rev Pro. Revolution Pro Wrestling title.
Okay. That's going to be a good match. Gorillas of Destiny versus the Young Bucks versus Evil and Sonata for the IWGP Tag Team titles. That's going to be another good one. Mm-hmm. Cody versus Juice Robinson for the IWGP US title.
And a rematch for Robinson, who had lost the title to Cody.
Going to be another good one. Kushina versus Taiji Ishimori for the IWGP Junior title. And there's rumors apparently that Kushida may be done with New Japan after this show.
Whoa.
Yeah. Some people are saying that
NXT Japan.
Yeah, some people have been saying that Triple H apparently has been trying to campaign hard to get Kushida signed to WWE.
He's going to become a cruiserweight champion then.
Yeah. Yep. Then we're gonna have Kazuchika Okada versus Jay White, Jay Switchblade White,
Bullet Club Switchblade, aka the North Pervert.
Mm-hmm. Then we've got Chris Jericho versus Tetsuya Naito, for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. That should be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Their first one was a good one. This should also be a good one. And then the main event is going to be Kenny Omega versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IWGP title. It's interesting that they actually had Tanahashi be the one who actually emerged over Okada to challenge for the championship. Given that it's believed that Omega, this might be the end of Omega in New Japan if he does All Elite Wrestling. So are they going to have Omega, who is super over, especially with the growing Western audience in New Japan, lose to Tanahashi, who is essentially like the aging John Cena of New Japan right now? So it's interesting.
Two things. One, do we know when Omega's contract is up, if he has one?
The way New Japan's contracts run is, I believe, they're all basically 1-year contracts that run from right after Wrestle Kingdom to Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay.
They're pretty much 1-year contracts that run and end that start and end pretty much right at Wrestle Kingdom.
All right. I mean, I could easily see them coming up with some kind of deal with him being like, yeah, you could wrestle for New Japan, and yeah, we'll allow you to go wrestle with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows?
Yeah, like Big Stupid said, end of January. That's why a couple years ago, you had AJ Styles, the Good Brothers, and Nakamura all compete on Wrestle Kingdom, and then 2 weeks later, they were either debuting or got signed, or in AJ Styles' case, was in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep
So this is going to be a good match. Well, wasn't there was 2 people that you were upset didn't have a match?
Yeah. And that's the villain Marty Scurll and Hangman Page are both not on this card, and I'm kind of upset about it.
Yeah,
because they're kind of 2 of my favorite members of the Elite.
Yeah, they're both really good. Do you think that they would be in the pre-show gauntlet match with maybe a 3rd member?
they might do that with like Chase Owens or something.
Maybe.
Trying to think who else they would be with.
I mean, maybe they'll have a part in the show by coming out with Kenny in the main event,
Kenny.
or
Yeah, I could actually, you know what?
or Cody
I could
versus
see
Juice.
them in the thing for the 6-man titles.
Mm-hmm. So you never know.
Yeah.
There's hope. All right. I just figured you would want to bring that up, that they are not currently on the card.
Yeah. Let's keep this moving.
But anyway, Wrestle Kingdom. I'm trying to find the actual date that it's happening. January 4th?
I think so.
I know it happens like right after New Year's, but for some reason the Wrestling Observer Figure 4 Online does not have the date on here with the card, which is really weird. Oh no, yeah, it is. January 4th inside the Tokyo Dome.
Boom.
Right there. All right. Next up, New Japan. Another piece of New Japan news real quick. New Japan is actually coming back to the US right after Wrestle Kingdom. They're going to be in Los Angeles at the Globe Theater on January 30th, and then 2 days later on February 1st, they will be going to Charlotte, North Carolina at the Grady Cole Center. So if anybody is interested, try to look up and see if you can get tickets. We already talked about that one. We already talked about that news. Let's talk about RoH Final Battle, which happened last night. 10-year anniversary of the 2008 Final Battle that we mentioned that we went to.
Yep.
So here's the match. Here's the show recap. Kenny King defeated Eli Isom. Then we had Jeff Cobb defeated Adam Page for the TV title. Women in the Women of Honor 4-way, Kelly Klein defeated Sumi Sakai, Madison Rayne, and Karen Q. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Jonathan Gresham. Matt Tavern with TK Orion defeated Dalton Castle and the boys, or with the boys. Marty Skrull defeated Christopher Daniels via submission. In an I Quit match, Flip Gordon beat Bully Ray. And in the ROH World Heavyweight title match, Jay Lethal defeated Cody, who had Brandy in his corner via submission.
There was one more match.
What did I miss?
You keep forgetting about it. The main event.
Scroll over. Oh yeah, the actual main event. I keep thinking the ROH title match is the main event. I keep forgetting about that.
Yep.
No, the real main event was the 3-way tag team title ladder war match where the Briscoes defeated the Young Bucks and SoCal Uncensored.
Yep. And the Young Bucks came out in gear dedicated to the Rockers.
Yeah. Which was really cool.
Yeah.
Brandy also had a really awesome spear on Jay Lethal after the ref took a bump.
Yes.
Really
and
cool.
I did appreciate Cody Rhodes' solid snake attire.
Yes. Hey, you know who was in New York last night?
Yeah.
We'll get to that actually. That's actually a perfect transition. But before we'll go back to that because I just want to get your thoughts on the results of Final Battle.
I thought it was all right.
Good.
I'd like to see Cody Rhodes.
I haven't
get
had a
more
chance to
gold,
watch
but
it,
whatever.
but you hope Cody Rhodes what?
Said I wouldn't mind Cody Rhodes getting some more gold, but whatever.
I mean, it's cool that all the Elite were in marquee matches, and their time with ROH is now believed to be done with All Elite Wrestling coming in 2019. Believed to be coming in 2019, so it makes sense that most of them lost, especially all of them in title matches. So, as long as the matches were entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm just sad that work's been busy and money's been tight because of Christmas, and I wasn't able to go because I was actually kind of really tempted to go to this show.
Yeah.
Main
show I've been looking to go to in 2019 looks like I might not be able to now.
Why don't you say what the Elites said about New York City after the match?
Oh yeah, that they're going to be back. They are going to be announcing it at some point, and they didn't say any specifics, but they said that they're going to be back to New York.
So yeah, very interesting stuff from the Elite. The head of the Elite, Cody, believed to be the head of the Elite. He, as you mentioned, came out in solid snake gear. Really cool. Metal Gear Solid, of course, created by the legendary developer Hideo Kojima. And ROH Final Battle took place in New York last night. You know who else was in New York last night?
Unfortunately, Kanye West.
Well, I was going to say Hideo Kojima, but Kanye West as well.
Yeah.
And this allows us to segue right into the top story on our video games portion of the podcast, which is that Kanye West last night sent out a tweet because he was apparently in New York saying that he heard Hideo Kojima's in New York and said that they needed to meet and asked if anyone knew where he is or how to contact him. And then Jeff Keighley, good guy Jeff Keighley, coming off the heels of one of the most watched, the highestly watched and rated Game Awards of all time, doubled last year's, by the way, burying another news story in this one, 26 million live streams of the Game Awards, decides to respond with simply, "I got ya," to the massive shouting of, Jeff, no, Jeff, no, for the love of God, don't.
Yeah, he didn't realize that Hideo Kojima has pulled off the greatest ding-dong ditch type prank of all time. He texted Kanye with a burner phone, letting him know he was going to be there, and then hid in a cardboard box off to the side, watching Kanye look around, wondering where he is, to then go to Twitter and try to find him.
Yeah. So, anyway, there's been no update on whether the two actually met. But it was just a very weird, interesting thing. And you're making me yawn.
Sorry.
That's just, it's just ridiculous. Please, I hope Kojima did not find Kanye.
Same.
I feel like we as the gaming gamers need to keep Kanye West away from Hideo Kojima at all costs.
Yep. Here's hoping that Hideo had the urban camo and was wearing it that day.
Yes. Or, was able to escape the stay out of sight of Kanye by
cardboard box.
Yeah, covering himself in a cardboard box. There's a lot of those in New York City.
Yeah.
He'd be able to hide easily.
That's how he was watching Kanye get pranked with his ultimate ding-dong ditch.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just looking around like, where is he? And he's like, in a box, just watching him. Like,
Kanye starts walking down the block to see if he can find anybody. He's like, is that box there a second ago?
Now I just need to see that video footage of Kanye getting an arm drag from a cardboard box.
Somebody, you know what? Somebody actually needs to develop a new game called
Metal Gear Kanye.
Metal Gear Kanye.
Metal Gear
and
West.
All it is it's Hideo Kojima. He gets like this codec message from Jeff Keighley and being like, Hideo, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing, but Kanye's on the lookout for you in New York City. You've got to hide. And it's basically just Hideo Kojima in Metal Gear Solid style classic gameplay in a cardboard box trying to hide and evade Kanye West in New York City while trying to make it to JFK and fly out of the city.
Yep.
Do it, indie developers. Do it.
Please.
Do it. Totally do it. Speaking of indie developers, before I get into this next story, how Steam for the longest time has been the only big game in town with regards to PC gaming and stores and buying indie games.
Yes.
Well, at the Game Awards, Epic decided to get in on the game with the Epic Games Store and revealed that their profit share was going to be better than the 70-30 that Steam does by doing it 80-20. And now this week, Discord has revealed that they are now changing their share for their store, and they're going to be rededicating themselves to indie developers and self-development and publishing onto their platform by doing a 90-10 profit share.
And then they won the battle.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
This is very interesting. A lot of people are nervous because it's like, oh crap, now I'm gonna have to own all these different things and all these different launchers on PC. But I'm of the mind of competition is good. And if it means that we're going to get more games that we otherwise wouldn't, then that's fine by me.
Yep.
Other news. Fortnite has removed the overpowered Infinity Blade. They revealed the Infinity Blade, which was this ice sword that was shown in the trailer for I think we're in season 7 of Fortnite. It was this ridiculous sword. Mm-hmm. Like the person got, why are you doing that?
Just keep going.
People were putting when you capture the sword, you can leap far distances with the sword. You can tear down buildings. You can still build stuff, but you can't gather materials unless you open up stuff or you drop the sword. And when you pick up the sword, you have 200 health and 200 shields. But people believed it was way too overpowered. There were people who apparently had trained for esports events, and those esports events actually had the Infinity Blade, which just debuted, and they had gotten killed. So it caused a lot of controversy. So on Twitter, Epic announced that they are getting rid of it.
Okay.
They said on Twitter, "We messed up and rolled out the Infinity Blade, overpowered / without good counters, especially in the end game. The Infinity Blade has been vaulted, and we are reevaluating our approach on mythic items."
Okay.
Are you done? Why are you wearing the shades?
What? No reason.
What? Why are you being random? What is your?
Just keep going.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the story. We will see if they decide to introduce new mythic items going forward, or if they will bring out the Infinity Blade eventually. It was kind of cool because it was almost like being Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet. The other issue that people had with it was that it always spawned this one specific spot on the new glacier as part of the map. Yes, I know I said spot and not spot. I know you're about to laugh, but it's okay. We mess up sometimes. We got to talk a lot. I talk really fast sometimes because it's a podcast. So yeah. Lots of complaints. I thought it was a cool thing, but then again, I only watched it. I never played it and had to deal with the frustrations. I kind of hope it comes back or other mythic items come back. Do you want a liter of cola or something?
Are you done talking about Fortnite?
I'm done.
Okay.
Why did you need the shades for a single Fortnite story?
So that way people couldn't see me sleeping.
You're all that for a really long joke?
Yes.
All right. Now this next story is a follow-up to something we talked about earlier on the podcast a few weeks ago. And I'm going to take a swig of water because I'm going to just quote this story from Kotaku, written by Cecilia De Anastasio. And it is that the COO of Riot Games, amongst the sexual discrimination and sexism complaints at the company, which was also revealed by a report from Kotaku, he has been suspended 2 months without pay.
Good.
The story is, earlier this week, and I am quoting the Kotaku story now. Earlier this week, Riot's CEO sent an email to employees describing the punishment its COO, Scott Gelb, will face after multiple employees alleged that, as a comedy bit, he has repeatedly touched subordinates' balls or butt or farted in their faces. Several employees tell Kotaku that his punishment, 2 months of unpaid leave and training, is far from satisfactory. So apparently it was also sexual touching and just inappropriate
grabbing
comment.
someone's balls is sexual
assault.
I never would have guessed that.
Well, I was under from what I had read from the IGN story, I was under the impression that it was part of the other investigation. But let's continue reading. We learn new things every day. An 8-month Kotaku investigation, informed by interviews with dozens of current and former employees, revealed that Riot Games has fostered a culture of sexism. That was the report I was talking to about and what we talked about previously on the podcast. The company, which is 80% male, has 2,500 employees, has an alleged history of passing up qualified women for promotions, holding female job candidates to a higher standard, and perpetuating a bro culture of bathroom humor and alleged sexual misconduct.
You see, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Because you guys can't behave properly.
Throughout Kotaku's interviews, one name kept cropping up: Scott Gelb, Riot Games COO, whom current and former employees alleged participated in ball tapping, flicking or slapping testicles, farting on employees, or humping them for comedic effect. It just became so normal, said one employee who witnessed Gelb's behavior. Another added, the ball grabbing and things like that was absolutely well known across the board. Other former employees who witnessed this believed that this style of bro comedy trickled down into the company's lower ranks, where employees comfortably settled into fraternity mindset that has, sources says, disadvantaged women.
I'm going to admit, I've participated in things like doing a ball tap, but that was back when I was in high school and was an immature teenager.
You also weren't doing it at your place of work.
Exactly.
You were doing it as a joke among friends.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. You weren't doing it in a there's mindset when you're not at work and mindset when you're at work. That's what professionalism is called.
Yep.
This is not professional conduct. In response to Kotaku's investigation, Riot put out several statements reaffirming its mission to set right the company's reported wrongs. And they had a blog post. The story goes on. Kotaku learned this week that Riot did, in fact, investigate Gelb. In an email sent on Monday to Riot employees, CEO Nick Laurent explained that after an investigation led by law firm Seyfarth Shaw and overseen by a special committee from its board of directors, Gelb will remain at the company. He will, however, be put on a 2-month unpaid leave and receive training, Laurent explained in the email. Which isn't that long, so I'll read it real quick. As I have mentioned, we are committed to protecting protecting rioters' privacy and the integrity of the investigation process. This means that you will not hear me or any other leader discuss individual cases. Having said that, we have made a very rare exception in the case of our COO, Scott Gelb. These are factors that collectively drive this exception. The special committee and the board of directors has specifically requested that one of Scott's consequences be highly visible. Scott holds one of the most senior roles at Riot and is held to a higher level of accountability and visibility. Therefore, certain consequences are going to be very visible to rioters. It's for these reasons I feel it's necessary to make an exception.
Okay.
So
I don't believe that personally, but let's let them do what they want to do.
Yeah. I think this punishment is good. I don't know if it's good enough.
I don't think it's good enough.
Hopefully it changes Gelb's mindset, but the fact that it's unpaid helps. Like, it's not like he's being paid to just sit at home.
Yeah, with it being unpaid, it makes it better. I think they should add on that if there is even one instance of an issue like this with him again at all after this, he is immediately fired.
I don't know. We don't know the terms of that. Maybe that is an extra term.
I'm hoping so.
But just figured we would update you guys on that developing story, and to let you guys know that people that heads are maybe not in the terms of getting fired rolling, but they are rolling and things are being done.
Yes.
Over Riot. Hopefully change that culture. And as we transition over to Blizzard, because we're going to have quite a bit of stuff for Blizzard, but before we transition into the bigger news of Blizzard, we've also got another story. Heroes of the Storm will not be involved in esports in 2019, and its development is getting scaled back. Blizzard released this announced in a blog post, and I quote, the blog post, by the way, is it says just written by J. Allen Brack and Ray Gresco. It says, we're constantly changing and evolving not only our games, but how we support and grow them. The evolution is vital. This evolution is vital to our ability to continue doing what we love to do, making great games, and it's what makes Blizzard Blizzard. Over the past several years, the work of evaluating our development process and making hard decisions has led to new games and other products that we're proud of. We now have more live games and unannounced projects than at any point in the company's history. We're also at a point where we need to take some of our talented developers and bring their skills to other projects. As a result, we've made the difficult decision to shift some developers from Heroes of the Storm to other teams, and we're excited to see the passion, knowledge, and experience that they'll bring to these projects. This isn't the first time we've had to make tough choices like this. Games like Diablo 2, World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, Overwatch, and more would not exist had we not made similar decisions in the past. Despite the change, Heroes of the Storm remains our love letter to Blizzard's worlds and characters. We'll continue actively supporting the game with new heroes, themed events, and other content that our community loves, though the cadence will change. Ultimately, we're setting up the game for long-term sustainability. We're so grateful for the support the community has shown from the beginning, and the development team will continue to support Heroes with the same passion, dedication, and creativity that has made the game such a unique experience. We've also evaluated our plans around Heroes Esports. After looking at all of our priorities and the options in light of the change with the game, the Heroes Global Championship and Heroes of the Dorm will not return in 2019. This is another very difficult decision for us to make. The love that the community has for these programs is deeply felt by everyone who works on them, but we ultimately feel it is the right decision versus moving forward in a way that would not meet the standards that players and fans have come to expect. While we don't make these decisions lightly, we do look to the future excited about what the decisions will mean for our other live games and all the projects that we have in the works. We appreciate all our hardworking developers and everyone in the Blizzard community, and look forward to sharing many more epic gaming experiences with you in the future.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wasn't really a big fan of Heroes of the Storm. I really played it.
I played it a little bit. It was interesting. But I wasn't completely in love with it. It wasn't exactly my kind of thing. It was a cool little MOBA, but like I don't think it compared to what do you call it? League of Legends and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And our last story, for some reason, our browser just doesn't want to work for one of our last stories. Checking other stuff. You want to get into this one? I'll let you take over this one if you want.
That's right. We got some Overwatch news for you guys.
Overwatch news, you mothers.
No.
I was trying to do my own thing with it. Did that not work?
No, it didn't.
I'm going to keep doing it.
No.
Anyway, go ahead.
I don't know if I want to after that. But I guess apparently Overwatch has announced their season and schedule and everything for the 2019 year of Overwatch League. And along with this, I have learned that there are now 8 new teams that are included in this.
Yes, there are.
Including teams from Canada and from Washington, D.C. and China and France and all that. We have everything up here, correct?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so the first schedule is for Thursday, February 14th. And we will be getting the Philadelphia Fusion versus the London Spitfire, the Boston Uprising versus the New York Excelsior, the Los Angeles Gladiators versus the Seoul Dynasty, and everyone's lovable losers, the Shanghai Dragons, facing off against one of the new teams, the Hangzhou Spark. Hangzhou Spark. Every time I see that, I think of General Zhao's textbook. Or Henry Zhao's textbook.
Yes.
Might be.
Mm-hmm.
Day 2, on February 15th, we've got the Toronto Defiant, another new team, versus the Houston Outlaws. And we've got another new team, the Atlanta Reign versus the Florida Mayhem. Then we have the Dallas Fuel versus the San Francisco Shock. The Guangzhou Charge versus the Chengao.
Yeah, Chengao.
Okay, Hunters. It's hard for me to read from here. Then we've also got the Paris Eternal, another new team, versus the London Spitfire.
New rivalry.
Starting off day 3. Battle over the, what do they call that thing?
Europe?
No. The thing that separates England.
The
channel?
The English Channel?
Yes. I couldn't think of the word channel. Back off, I'm a scientist. After that, we've got the New York Excelsior versus the Washington Justice. Then we've got the Spark versus the Los Angeles Valiant. We've got those lovable losers again, the Shanghai Dragons versus Vancouver Titans.
Another new team.
Yep,
Washington another new team.
Yep. And on day 4, we've got the Houston Outlaws versus Boston Uprising, Philadelphia Fusion versus the Atlanta Reign, Los Angeles Gladiators versus San Francisco Shock, the Seoul Dynasty versus the Dallas Fuel to round out day 4.
Yes. And I believe that's all the games for week 1. Overwatch League also announced that they're going to be a Homestead weekend series where the Dallas Fuel on the weekend of April 27th to 28th, the Atlanta Reign from July 6th and 7th, and then the LA Valiant on August 24th to 25th. They will all be basically hosting the week's worth of games at
their home arenas.
Yeah, for Overwatch League, and they will basically be the home team. So it's the first example of them trying to test out home team stuff,
which is pretty cool.
Yep, and they also changed up and increased the prize pool. The prize pool is up 1.5 million. Up from 3.5 million to 5 million this year in 2019. For every stage, winners now get $200,000. The runners up get $100,000. Third and fourth place get $50,000 each, and fifth through eighth place get $25,000 each. Then for the season end playoffs that come in August, the champions will win $1.1 million. The runners up will win $600,000. Third place will get $450,000. Fourth will get $350,000. Fifth and sixth, $300,000. Seventh and eighth, $200,000. They have also expanded the map pool to 12 maps. On Control, they will have Busan, Ilios, and Nepal. Ilios, yes, Ilios. Hybrid will be Hollywood, Kings Row, and New Body. Assault will be the Temple of Anubis, Horizon Zero Lunar Colony. I almost said Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yep, and it's just Horizon Lunar Colony.
And Volskaya Industries. And then Escort will be Rialto, Dorado, and Route 66.
Cool.
So we are about 2 months away from the return of
Yep.
the Overwatch
And
League.
I am still open if any of those teams want to contact me. Maybe like one that's more local. I don't know about joining like the Spark over in China or Shanghai. I mean, I might be able to help out Shanghai. And you got, no offense, but you guys didn't really do too well the first year. But my line's always open.
Yeah, just go move to China. That'll work out.
Like I said, I prefer not to, but I mean, if I could get paid to play Overwatch, I mean.
Yeah. Anyway, Amy Hennig, she's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
She wrote all the Uncharted games.
Yeah.
And
Uncharted 2, one of my favorites.
I think 1 through 3. I think she left before Uncharted 4 was written, or did she leave after?
I think she stepped down right before it, or right as they started with it.
Okay. She was also writing that Star Wars game that we were really, really excited about, and then EA decided, no, we're just gonna go with games like Battlefront 2, and axed it and cut the studio before Battlefront 2 launched and became the disaster that it was.
Yep.
Anyway, she is going to be given a Lifetime Achievement Award at GDC 2019. So I just wanted to mention that. Congratulations to Amy Hennig.
Mm-hmm.
She also, I believe, was with Naughty Dog and wrote for them for The Last of Us too. The original Last of Us, I think.
I think I heard something about that. I didn't know it for a fact, but I thought I heard about it.
Yeah. Have you ever heard of boosting, by the way?
Nope.
Basically, that's like, remember when we used to play Guild Wars?
Uh-huh.
And Guild Wars 2?
Yeah.
Say you only had time for one character, and you wanted more characters, or say an expansion came out, but you just don't have the time.
And you have someone play for you to level up and everything.
You pay somebody to level you up. That's boosting. Apparently, boosting has become an epidemic in South Korea, not just for MMOs, but for esports, where people have been having paying boosters to rank them up competitively. So that way they could have a chance and have better placing and make tournaments for cash prizes and stuff like that.
Come on. Just be naturally good at the game like me.
So South Korea had to step in. And this story is from IGN, which cites somebody else. But South Korea's National Assembly recently passed an amendment that can result in players caught boosting in online games getting charged with a 2-year suspended prison sentence and a fine of up to $18,000. As reported by Inven via .esports, the law is an amendment to South Korea's Game Industry Promotion Act, which already applied the punishment to crimes related to hacking, the illegal distribution and licensing of games, and more. Boosting occurs when a highly skilled player in games like Overwatch or League of Legends is paid to artificially boost another player's ranking by logging onto their account and winning matches for them. The South Korean government will now target boosters and boosting companies that facilitate paid rank inflation. Boosting negatively impacts games that utilize skill-based rankings, as it throws a wrench into various systems that developers create to properly match players to others in their appropriate skill level.
Yep.
So, good on South Korea for cracking down, because they're big on the esports.
Thank you, South Korea. Oh, God. Forgot about this.
You just saw what our last story is.
I forgot about this, and I hate it.
He says, "Thank you, South Korea," but don't mean to end this
Thank
on a
you, South Korea, and go F yourself, Sega.
So yeah, I don't know if anybody saw this, but our last story of the day, there's a Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie happening.
Yep.
We got a teaser poster, which was just the outline of Sonic and a white blur running through some rings.
Mm-hmm. And it's only like 20 years too late.
Yeah. I don't know why they're doing this, but anyway, we just figured we'd let you guys know that. And apparently, the movie, which is going to be like, I guess, a mixture of live action and CG. Mm-hmm. This is from IGN, the description. This telling of Sonic's story sees him as a bit of a fish or hedgehog out of water. Sonic, voiced by Ben Schwartz, finds himself in our present-day world, wherein he develops a relationship with James Marsden's character, Tom Wachowski, and also finds himself at odds with Jim Carrey, who is playing Dr. Robotnik.
Okay, maybe. But the rest of it, no.
You ready? You ready for a Sonic movie?
No.
Ready?
I was when I was a kid playing Sonic on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, like 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah, I was ready for a Sonic movie there. I would have been psyched out of my freaking mind at that point. But now I'm just like, why? I've got Detective Pikachu already on my plate.
Plus, you've got all those cool cartoon shows and fanfics.
I mean, I'm trying to find time to somehow fit in going to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I have no idea how the heck I'm going to do that.
It's a good movie. Also, Aquaman, I heard, is really good. I need to see that, too.
Yeah. Fun fact, one of my coworkers already watched it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he has a site/app. Oh, thought that was that phone.
That's me.
That allowed him to watch it a full 10 days before release day. It still isn't out yet, and he's already seen the whole movie.
Wow. Anyway, those are movies that you should definitely see now and not, and actually spend your money on instead of this Sonic the Hedgehog movie next year.
Yep.
Unless it completely surprises us when new trailers come out, but I don't think so.
Jim Carrey. There's a chance. Not a good chance, but a chance.
And with that, everybody, that's going to actually do it. We're going to wrap up episode 72 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening. Don't forget, you can catch the show live on Twitch at twitch.tv/L_Murpho. Get involved in the chat like Big Stupid did, like KB8200 did. Ask us questions, contribute to the discussion, to the conversation, get involved. You can also watch us back on VOD on Twitch as well. We always clip off every episode as a highlight. You can listen to us by searching Super Grapple Bros on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, lots of other places. What do you do when you check us out there?
You rate, review, and subscribe.
Yes, those ratings and reviews help us out, especially on Apple Podcasts. You can also watch us on VOD form on YouTube at youtube.com/LMurphoReal. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff there. Leave comments and stuff like that. We do check out the comments. You can also get involved in the conversation with us again and get your TLC 2018 predictions in by joining the Discord server. You can find it in the show notes in the audio version. Find it on the channel page on Twitch, and you can also find it in the video description on YouTube. Join the Discord server. We have 2 channels in there in the Murpho Discord server for Super Grapple Bros. One is for general questions, concerns, comments, and all of that, which you can leave there or on our email at supergrapplebros@gmail.com, or you can also use the channel for the viewer predictions and leave your TLC predictions and might get a shout out if you can beat us or beat everybody else who puts in the predictions. So be sure to check that out.
And we'll see if we could get El Murpho to post an exclusive video of him crying when he loses the predictions.
I'm not going to cry. I'm going to win. I'm going to get that title back, and I'm not going to cry if I lose because, you take losses on the chin, and you also handle wins.
You take
with
a lot of
dignity.
things on the chin. You walked right into that one. Come on.
Anyway, you can also reach us on Twitter. In addition to Discord, where we will announce whenever we go live with an episode of Super Grapple Bros, we also do so on Twitter on our Twitter accounts. I am at L_Murpho, and this guy's account doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and move on.
DMurph_42.
I kid. You suck, though. Anyway, that's everything. We are going to send you guys home with the kayfabe news. I think it's like a topic of the episode this time, not exactly a headline, right? You're changing things up.
I'm just going to read you the headline and then give you a little bit of a sample because you guys should go check the whole thing out yourself. And this one is, we put famous wrestling catchphrases through multiple layers of Google Translate. Enjoy. And the first one is, Steve Austin. And that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. English to Japanese to Spanish to English. And that is the reason why the final coldness of the stone spoke of things. So if you enjoyed that, there's a lot more. So go check it out on Kayfabe News.
Oh my God, that's so good.
Yes.
I'm going to have to check that out. All right, guys, this has been episode 72 of the Super Grapple Bros podcast. We are out. Catch y'all later. Until we see you again, peace, deuces, deucey deuce. Laters.
Bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Can you hit the button so we can say goodbye? It's F4, not F1. Bye-bye.
Shut up and sit down.